Alright, let's see what's happening outside. Looks like someone's hoovering. Oh. Like just cleaning out the cab, is he? Oh no, he's not.
Nice.
What is this? What are you doing?
Well, I'm draining the engine oil with this.
What? There's a water vax, I suppose. Oh.
Get in there.
Oh.
Still a good amount I can see down there.
That's not engine oil, that's the intake manifold.
Yeah, still a bit I can't get into. I reckon if I got a bottle brush in there, agitated it round a bit and sucked out the rest of it,
Yeah.
could probably get loads more out.
Huh.
This has got rid of a lot already.
It's a shame that we didn't have a video of it
Before.
before.
Yeah, because it was pretty horrific.
So yeah, as you can quite well guess here, what we're doing is the lazy way to try and clean EGR build-up from the intake manifold, because to take this intake manifold off looks like a really big job, to the point where the cam belt has to come off and the diesel pump has to come off, the high pressure diesel pump has to come off, because there is this coolant pipe, these two pipes here, they split into one single pipe down here, and then that goes over the top of the intake manifold and then down the back of the coolant, the high pressure diesel pump. Now you think, okay, well sure, they've designed it in a way so that you can get access to it to take that off, because, you know, let's face it, it's a serviceable item. You know, the EGR maintenance is a serviceable thing. Well, nope, they have not. Right behind the diesel pump is a bolt head that you need to get to, which I can't see any way of getting to it. You do have to drain the coolant as well, of course, because when you take that off, you'll lose all the coolant to your engine, which is nice. Very well designed. Very well designed. Thank you very much there. Beautiful. But yeah, so we're not obviously taking the manifold off. We're just using a lazy way of doing it now, and using a wet vac, Vax basically, which is a brand of wet sucking vacuum cleaner. Here we have in the UK. Oh yeah, let's have a look and see what's inside. I'm sure it's nice. We have got the impact panel as well. Yeah, here we go. Look.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's nice. Yeah, that was mounted up quite bad until we cleaned it off earlier. And yes, we've got some nice lumps of coal in here. Beautiful.
And there's going to be a lot stuck in that tube now as well.
Yes, there is. But yes, quite pleasant. So the actual diameter of that orifice just there was
about half of what it should have been.
Yeah, at least half of what it should be. I will tell you that the 4 bolts that hold that on were that ridiculously tight. Well, it's not just those. You want a real problem, and I've got wrist ache. I'm surprised I'm holding the damn camera.
We were out here at 2 in the morning.
2 in the morning, yeah. That little flange just there for that EGR crinkly tube pipe there. 13mm bolts, and all the nuts basically. They were bolts, weren't they? They were bolts.
They were bolts.
Yeah,
yeah.
They were that unbelievably tight. You would not believe the force I was putting on them.
The whole engine was rocking.
The whole engine was pulling to the side. I was putting that much force on them. But I tell you something, it was literally a case of, right, let's go in, screw it. Oh, I'll give it one last go. I gave it one last go, and it went. So yeah. And I tell you something, that one last go that I gave it, it was a case of it's going to move or it's going to shear the head off. And it did crack it off. We used penetrating fluid on it. We even heated it up with a little miniature blowtorch, didn't we?
Mm.
And I tell you, it took everything we had to get them undone.
And they're in such an inaccessible place.
Yeah. Oh man, are they inaccessible.
Flex head spanners would be a big help here.
Yeah.
But we ended up just managed to... We got a normal spanner in there.
Yeah, we got a...
just barely.
Of all things, a 1/4 inch drive on it.
For the lower one,
For the lower one. With a bit of pipe stuck on the end of it to get the leverage. But there was that much flex in the ratchet, you know, it was hardly anything, but it was just enough. But I tell you, it went off a struggle. It wants half a struggle. They definitely didn't design this thing to be maintenance, you know, with maintenance in mind, which is not great. That's not a very good thing, that. For saying it's something that is supposed to be maintained, they've made it in such a way that they don't want it to be maintained. But hey, at least we've got it out, and yeah, it needs to be all done and dusted. Try and get it cleaned up.
Just getting the little tube that goes, the elbow that goes onto this off is quite a pain.
Yeah, the one with the throttle valve in it. They were tight too.
They were incredibly tight. They all get a bit of rust on them, and they.
It just goes into the threads.
Yeah.
Steel and aluminium, you see, it's just what it does.
And even when you've cracked them, it just carries on, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's right to the end of the thread, isn't it?
Yeah, they don't ease up.
My wrist is killing me.
Definitely use some penetrating fluid though, because it did definitely help.
It definitely worked quite well.
Especially once you just cracked it, if you get some on the thread and it runs into the actual.
Yeah, I want to get in the photo and all, because I've not been on YouTube for quite some time. I look horrific naturally. I've not been very well the past couple of weeks, but there you go. It's not COVID. I had the test done and that all come back negative, so. Although it is a cough and the high temperature that I've been getting, but there you go. Interesting. And it's a recurring thing and all. But that's my problems. What we're dealing with is Iveco problems. And my God, have they got some problems on these things.
But we've finally got this luxury in here.
Oh yes, look at that.
Why does it not come with one of those?
So we don't have in this the air conditioning in this model. But it turns out they just use the same intake box for the one with air conditioning or the one without. So it was like, well, we suffer from hay fever, both of us, so let's just get the panel filter in there from the air conditioning one. It fits straight in. Nice clean air coming into the cab now. Beautiful. So that's a nice little bonus we've got. That's about it, really, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. See if we can clean it up any more.
Well, hopefully return back when we've got it a bit better. Yeah, also try not to lose your gaskets as well, because they do like to try and slip down the side of the engine where your diesel pump is, and when they go down there, it's a bit of a nightmare to get them out.
Just keep that blanked off whenever you.
Yeah, always put a rag over it. Yeah. All right then, let's continue on. Alright, so yeah, we did the trick of trying to get something into the manifold to clean it out, you know, pipe on the end of the hoover, which worked relatively well, but we wanted to remove the boost pressure sensor. This is all what my brother did, not me. Sorry, Ali, but you know, I've got to tell him the truth here. As my brother tried to pull the boost pressure sensor out. Now the boost pressure sensor, when you undo the bolt, it turns really well, the whole sensor itself in the hole, so to speak, and it turns perfectly well. However, as soon as you try and pull it out, the thing that happens is it gets stuck in the hole, and if you pull it too much, it's made out of that amazing plastic which just fractures and snaps, and you end up with a little bit left stuck in the hole, and trying to get that out's a nightmare. So the way we did it was, because we already had the hoover going, we had the bit of pipe inside, and we just pushed it through from the inside so it fell inside the intake manifold. But because we had a little bit of pipe in there with the hoover going, it sucked it up straight away. I recommend you do that method and don't just drop it in, because due to the design of the manifold, it will fall straight into one of the intake ports. So you've got to be very careful with that. I guess we struck it lucky, you know. We tried to get a screw in there, but the screw just made the thing spin round and round, and as we was trying to screw it in, it was just working itself further and further down into the manifold, till eventually it would have dropped through with the screw in it, which would not have been pleasant. So yeah, we decided against that and just did it that method instead, and it worked great. After doing that kind of work, you will always have issues trying to get the van to start up, because there's going to be loose EGR, soot and, you know, debris, whatever it is, build up that crumbles off, and it does get stuck on the intake valves. And obviously the way you just clear that out is you just give the intake manifold a really good squirting with some light penetrating oil. As you keep cranking it over, you probably have to get a set of jump leads on it to keep cranking it on, unless you've got a good battery, of course. But eventually she'll start firing on one cylinder. And after that, you just keep going, and eventually it does continue to run. You will get a lot of knocking happening due to the amount of WD-40 in the intake manifold. It will knock quite a bit, but that's just pre-combustion, because it's basically running on that oil instead of running on the diesel that it's injecting in. It will clear out eventually though, and it will start running normally, which is what we had with this. You learn these things the hard way, which is what we did. But that's how it goes. So yeah, that's about it for this thing. My brother's gone in, he's gone to clean up some parts, and I've just left out here cleaning and tidying the tools away, which I've just done. I just thought I'd tell you how it went. Sorry I didn't really show anything happening, but that's how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.